Hey everybody, welcome to the Arcade Bros podcast. I'm Bill, and as always, I'm joined by my brother Jake.
Hey, what's up?
And today, we're here for TCG time with the Arcade Bros.
TCG time.
It is yet another new series.
Yep, yet another.
where we realized that we talk about this all the time, so we should probably just have a reoccurring, very kind of focused just on Jake's favorite TCG, which is
Pokemon.
and my favorite TCG, which is Magic the Gathering.
Woo!
So
MTG.
we're going to see how these two play next to each other first. If it turns out that it becomes like, like one topic is oppressive, we might have to split it into two separate shows, but hopefully not. Hopefully we can cover them all right here. So.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, actually.
Oh, all right, good.
I think we'll be all right.
All right, sweet. We'll Well, sweet. Awesome. So I guess we'll start this off with your news, dude. You can tell us what you got to say first, maybe.
All right. Well, it seems to be a pretty big month, August coming up for the Pokemon TCG. We got the release of yet another Detective Pikachu promo card with a figure set. I think last month they released Cafe Pikachu with a special Detective Pikachu promo card, and then this month they're releasing On the Case Detective Pikachu special promo card. So be on the lookout for that.
So I got a question about these promos, because I'm learning about Pokemon as we go here. I understand. So I've been doing a lot of MTG finance stuff lately, like investing in cards and trying to like make money off Magic, and I've been doing good. With like Modern Horizons and stuff. So I'm curious, when people go to collect Pokemon, like where's the money? Like, is it in the foils? Is it in the little figurine that comes with the card? Is it, hi puppy, podcast puppy? She's feeling better. She missed you. So like, what are like collectors trying to collect? Like, where's the big money stuff in Pokemon? Like, what am I looking for?
Well, I mean, typically they don't all like come with figures, so that one's out. They typically the ones that you're gonna find that are worth the most are from the GX series, and those are typically holo foil. You'll get a good amount, fair amount for that. Usually the biggest hitters are the hyper rares, which are usually like
hyper rare.
Yeah, there's like hyper rare, but then there's also like hyper rare full art, where it's just like the full art card.
Oh yeah, full arts are sick, dude. I love full art Magic cards. They're masterpieces. They used to call them.
Yeah.
Real nice things.
They are. They're very cool.
No. So I'm curious about the formats too. I don't actually know about that either. So like in Magic, for instance, because that's the one I'm most familiar with.
Right.
And I know you're slightly familiar with it too. There's like the standard format that rotates.
Yeah.
So it's like about like 2 years worth of sets that are quote unquote standard legal.
Yeah.
And all those cards like like come this fall. So like a bunch of old stuff rotates out. So
that's how Pokemon is too.
Okay, so there's like a standard like that in Pokemon. Sorry about that.
Yeah, there is a standard that they uphold.
Okay, and now is there a legacy? Like, so you can play with all the old stuff too?
I mean, yeah, I think there is.
Is there a competitive like legacy tournament kind of thing?
I think it seems to be more focused on the standard thing, but
okay.
I'm not really sure. I'd have to get back to you.
Yeah, because I'm curious about that, about like the different formats, because I don't know anything about it.
I'm just actually recently kind of getting into the competitive.
Back into it? Cool.
No, like I've been in the collecting scene
Yeah.
for a really long time, but I haven't gotten into the competitive scene until recently. So I'm still like learning a lot about that. I want to start playing a few tournaments myself after this season concludes. Pretty much after Worlds happens.
Excuse me, sorry about that.
Which, for those that don't know, Worlds is the World Championships. They just had...
sick, dude.
I think in June they just had the North American one. So now the Absolute World Championships, 2019 Pokemon World Championships, will be returning to Washington, D.C. from August 16th to the 18th.
Oh, no shit. So right around when this show is out, it'll be soon after.
Heck yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure when this comes out, so we'll figure it out.
But back to your question, yeah, I think they have a standard set.
So the standard
there's a lot of similarities because...
Yeah, the same company, right?
Well,
let's see.
No, it was originally.
It was
Wizards of the Coast, initially started it, and then
Okay.
Eventually the Pokemon company kind of took over.
Oh, did they really? Oh,
yeah.
okay. So they actually do run the formats and stuff too?
Yeah, so now it's like straight through them. It's straight through the Pokemon company. It did start out with Wizards of the Coast, though, so...
Okay. So then I think that... So I hope the structure is similar. That's why I was asking questions that kind of were like Magic, because I knew that WotC did control it at one point.
Yeah, they did.
I just... Sure. I honestly know... Like, I know a wicked lot about... Ultra Sun and Moon was like the... Up until that game came out, I actually never played too many. Are you all right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Indigestion.
When
No, it's
people
cool.
do that, I get super nervous. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I just had Bill made some really delicious chicken, and I just and rice, and I just ate that. So now I just had a little
Super
spike of
hearty
indigestion.
burns? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Jesus, when you grabbed your chest and stood up like that, I was like, please don't have a heart attack.
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
I'm good. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, heartburn can sometimes, really bad heartburn can feel similar at times.
All right, cool. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
My chicken was good, I guess.
It was.
A lot of salt. But anyway.
A lot of salt. Well, I get
Too much
my
salt.
salty chicken gave you no heart attacks.
Yeah.
Too much sodium.
So, all right, cool. So, there are pro Pokemon players.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
No, legit.
Cool.
They actually
And
release. It's cool. What they'll do after the championships are done, they'll take the champions that played, and they'll take their cards and make a deck out of it, and then sell it. And then you can buy championship deck or whatever, and it has like the player's name on it and everything.
Now wait a second. I have a question. So, in Magic, a standard deck in Magic, a tier 1 standard deck, at least from this last standard, which I'm most familiar with recently, because I just got back in during Dominaria, so like maybe a year or two ago, like hard. It's about $500. Is like a tier 1 deck is how much it would cost in money.
Just to like find everything?
To get all, so okay, yeah, for instance, so just to get the mana, you know how a Magic deck is structured. So you have mana and you use mana to cast the creatures, right?
Yeah.
So just the mana base alone, you need 4 of these dual lands that are like $16 each.
Oh, I see.
You see what I'm saying? And then there's
Yeah,
rares.
like specifically hunting. Like you go to like what is it, Troll and Toad or something, and like buy cards there.
Yeah,
or wherever you buy cards.
Yeah. In our I use TCGplayer.com a lot of the time.
Yeah, I use the website Troll and Toad, I think it's called.
Oh yeah, cool. That used to be a brick and mortar, I thought too, right? Oh no, that was 3 trolls. You might know where we live now. Whoops. If you know where that is, you know where we live, and you're awesome. Write us an email at arcadebrospodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, but don't look it up. You have to already know. That doesn't count.
Yeah. Because they're now defunct, so it would be. I think they existed before the internet existed. So.
Oh wow.
So if you know what that is,
or
at least the one I'm particularly referencing,
the pre-internet times.
Yeah, it was like I think they went defunct in like 2003.
Jeez.
Is that how you say it? 2003.
How the hell?
Well, how do you say that?
That's so long ago.
Yeah, it's a long time now.
I just say 2003.
Yeah, I know. I'm a fucking moron.
You just try to shorthand everything.
I don't know why I do that.
It's
cool. Just the computer fucking guy in me, dude. I don't know. Whatever. But
this is inefficient.
Yeah. So in like like Teferi, for instance, it was a card in my deck. It was a 35. While it was like the main card in standard, it was like $35 each, and you have 4 of them.
Yeah.
So there's part of the deck money there, and then there's a bunch of like spells, and each of the spells can be worth up to like $10 each. So I have 4 copies of a $10 spell. That's another $40. It adds up. So like my question is long-winded as it is, what is like a competitive Pokemon deck cost? Because you just said they literally take the champions deck and then sell it to you. So how much is that? Is it a $500 fucking product? Like,
well, no.
What is?
Well, when it's officially sold through the Pokemon company and they take what they used and everything and just sell it back to you, it's just your regular standard price. I think it's actually like $11-12. It's not even that much.
What?
Really.
It's a $12, but it's a tier competitive deck that you want a tournament with.
Yeah.
How does that mean that Pokemon cards have 0 value?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But they can.
But you understand
they can release it, and it's not. It's that's not worth as much because the person that paid for those cards on that website had to procure it themselves. It's not from the source. The Pokemon company, they make the damn things.
No, I get that they can print it and sell it for super cheap and that like they reissue a product. But so in Magic, for instance, that take a $35 card from a long time ago. Okay. It hasn't been reprinted in 6 years. A card like that will go up in value. Okay. So if suddenly like in a format
if
where
suddenly they just put out a bunch, it would plummet the value.
Basically, so say they reprint it in a new set, it'll cut the value for a little bit till people catch up, and then the value will change, right? So I get the fact that they can like reprint the card whenever they want, but so when I think of a competitive deck in a TCG game, I think that deck physically, if you built it in the real world, is expensive. So, for instance, in my head, there are these like tiers. So, a standard deck for Magic is about $500. A modern deck for Magic is about $1,000.
I don't think Pokemon's that much.
Yeah, a legacy
to answer
deck,
your question, I don't think
so
Pokemon's
like a
that
legacy deck in Magic could be $48,000 because you have 4 Black Lotuses, 2 Mox Emeralds, and fucking like a Astral Recall or something crazy.
I think collecting Pokemon cards, absolutely, that's expensive as shit. But
I just don't. So
but
like,
wait, let me finish. Collecting Pokemon cards is definitely expensive. I think from more of the collecting standpoint, but competitive. A lot of those cards that people consider rare or sought after that are expensive, you're not going to be using in a competitive deck because they're not as useful. They don't have necessarily...
Really? That's really weird. Like, for me, so...
People aren't collecting it for the usefulness. It's based on rarity.
So, okay, I guess it gets
the popularity of the art on the card.
Okay, it gets to a bigger question then. What is the rarity structure? Okay, so in Magic, rarity is important. So, like, a common card... unless it's like a super pushed card, is like going to meet a certain threshold of power. An uncommon card is going to have like a certain range of thresholds of power.
Yeah.
A rare card, most of your competitive tier decks are going to be made up of rare cards. And rare cards have a tendency to fluctuate in a standard set between like $10 and like $20. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So like if the company reprinted, so say we go to a Magic tournament and they take the top 8 like decks and they reprint them and they sold them from the company, even if they did that, the cards in there would have to be at least half of the price of what the market value of the deck is. So if it's a $700 $600 $500 standard deck, okay, if the company went and reprinted it as a competitive product, like that was all those cards reprinted with the same art in a box like that, they'd have to charge like $250. You see what I'm saying?
I think
because people would still crack those and then sell it and make a ton of money. So what I'm trying to figure out,
with the championship decks with the Pokemon thing, I think whatever rare cards they use in there, it's just going to plummet the value for that rare card. That's just what's going to happen. So reprints, they're really fuck shit. But basically. When you're talking about rarity, like commons, uncommons, Pokemon has that too. But you're not going to have a lot of above really uncommon in your deck because.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because like you want the base Pokemon because you have to evolve them.
Oh, because I don't understand how the deck is built.
If I have a super powerful Vileplume in there, I need to have a couple of Oddishes that I make sure that I get because then I have to evolve it into Gloom and then into Vileplume, which is like the super hard hit.
Oh, because I don't actually know what's in, like what a deck would even, I don't know how to deck build in that game.
So an Oddish would be like a common, and then you're looking at a Vileplume, which is a little bit more powerful. That's an uncommon.
So it's middle, and then the rare would be its third evolution.
Usually, not always, but usually, yeah.
Okay, and then there's probably like a shiny equivalent.
Yeah, there's like a hyper rare full art Oddish or something. I mean, Vileplume rather.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. But you don't. So basically, there's a style of deck building in Magic where literally it's called good stuff. So literally, what you do is you just go
good stuff.
Yeah, no, literally, yeah. You just go,
like
okay, what is all this good stuff? Okay, I like this good stuff. This stuff is now a deck. And that deck could suck balls, never win, but still somehow be worth $500 because it has a bunch of good stuff in it.
Oh my god!
And if the company reprinted it, it would fuck like this game. It's hard for me to take like the idea of a competitive tier deck making it cost $12. Like it blows my fucking mind that you could even do that. It feels like there's so much money left on the table compared to just how like I operate with my game. You see, so it's like a really weird perspective for me because you're sitting there being like, dude, this guy just won the worlds with this deck and it's $12. I'm like,
yeah. Well, most of them aren't like competitively using the ones that are like super like, you know, expensive anyway. The more expensive ones you're looking at are like the hyper rares, like the you know, full arts and everything. And people are more so just collecting those rather than using competitively. Because, you know, they don't want to tarnish them and they want to keep them and they're like,
no, I understand. I understand all that. Yeah. It's like, I'm just trying to figure out where, like, so as soon as I hear the word collectible card
I don't think
game,
the Pokemon company, I guess basically the gist of it is, I don't think the Pokemon company really cares about cutting into the profits of third-party sellers because they're getting the money either way.
well, yeah, I get it, but they just don't give a fuck about the aftermarket of the game really at all.
No.
Okay, so I heard that was a thing in Yu-Gi-Oh too. Like a lot of the people hate that.
Yeah,
game
I guess that's
because of
basically
that
what I'm
reason.
getting at. They don't really care about the
Okay.
third market. The third-party market exists, and we do our own thing. And, you know, they're obviously based on values of rarity and everything. And it's up to that community to figure out what the hell it's worth and then to just buy and sell that way. So it's completely separate.
I feel you. Okay. All right. Because, like, I didn't even know that, like, basic structure of it. Because to me, that's kind of, like, opposite of where we're at with my game. Because, like, Wizards, they have an active reserved list.
I mean, they might care, but I get the feeling that they
so do they
don't.
let me ask you this question then.
Yeah.
So do they have something equivalent to this? In Magic, there's something called the reserve list. The reserve list are cards that will never be reprinted again, and they're only from rare ass sets. So that makes them literally relics of the past. It like if you have a powerful ass relic, okay, it's literally like that now because there's so few. Time deteriorates them. People lose them. You know, people aren't opening the packages. Supply is over. So, like, a Black Lotus,
there's stuff like that for sure.
a Black Lotus is worth $12,000, like easily, like a shitty one, or a good one, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I just saw like somebody spend like $100,000 on like a first edition Wizards of the Coast like booster box.
like I understand.
Sealed.
No, I get that.
Like,
I get that kind of stuff for sure. Especially the Wizards of the Coast like built products.
Oh, you're talking about like Wizards of the Coast and Magic, like purposely making this reserve list.
Yes.
They
will never
bump up the value.
Exactly. They will never reprint these cards. They're relics forever.
Okay.
They will if something's on that list.
They're creating a market scarcity.
Oh, dude, they will
bump it up.
Yeah, they will. Well, not even that. They just will never make these again.
Yeah,
even if that's the effect. I mean, I don't know. So, I mean, somebody who's more informed, like, you know, email us at arcadebros@gmail.com and tell me I'm stupid.
I feel like Pokemon does that. I mean, I know Pokemon.
Well, do they have
stuff.
do they have a reserve list though? Are there things actually on there that they're like, we will never reprint this again?
I mean, there are cards like that.
And do they have a ban list as well?
Yeah, there is a ban list, absolutely.
Okay.
Like,
and
actually,
now, are things on that ban list valuable for this game? Because in Magic, when things get on the ban list, they go from being like one of the most valuable played cards to like just completely tanking in value and being worth nothing.
Yeah, that's the same with the ban list, I think.
In your game?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Because like
crazy. Yeah, I figured it would work that way, but you never know. It could be like an outlier. Like this is so dope that they banned it.
Dude, people are actually like freaking out right now because I think the day before Worlds,
that puppy
if I'm not mistaken, they are. Wow, look at the tail go. They are discontinuing Great Ball.
Great Ball,
which is really really useful because you can have a fair number of them. I think 4. And they allow you to draw cards.
Oh yeah, anything really that draws cards is the best thing. Yeah, card advantage decks and tempo decks. Like,
and of course, in Pokemon, like any TCG, you know, you want to get those cards as fast as possible.
I feel like these terms are general to TCGs in general. So like there are tempo decks and, you know, draw spells, and there are certain terms like let you look at a card then discard a card. We call that looting in my game.
Yeah.
So I assume that a lot of the other TCGs copy Magic in Magic's mechanics department because I'm not even trying to be like egotistical about it. I'm just saying because they do it really good. I mean, really well. Not even good. They do it amazingly.
Well, they've been at it for so
long. They're all 25 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts.
They've been doing it legit like a hot minute.
Yeah, I realized the other day that it actually seriously is still like one of my favorite games of all time.
Like I think Pokemon TCG came along like 98, 99, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty old too. It's pretty good. 4 year difference, dude. 21 years. That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So, okay, well, you just taught me a lot there. So I learned that okay. So if you collected, back to my point again, I still need this a little bit sorted out. I'm going to loop back around and like kind of re-ask the same point just because I want it a little bit more clarified.
All right.
So I'm going to loop back around and say, all right, Jake, we're going to a Pokemon tournament next weekend.
Right.
What's the meta? And you go, all right, Bill, the meta is X, Y, and Z. Fucking most people are playing A, B, and C. We're going to go there with D because it kills A, B, and C, but doesn't have a good matchup against fucking F or whatever. I mean, I don't know why F's in there. I fucked that up, but I'm bad at doing that shit. But
it's good.
What deck do we bring? And so you go, okay, it's this deck. If we were to say draft, I don't know if there's, can you bust open a box and draft? Like in Magic, you know how we did the draft?
Yeah,
like we do drafts and sealed and stuff. Can you do things like that with a Pokemon box?
They do that at tournaments typically. Like what you'll do at tournaments is you'll the officially sanctioned ones that you go to and shit. They have one pretty near undisclosed location.
Yeah.
So basically what they do is you go there and you pay the money, and what they give you is they give you a battle box, also with a couple of like extra TCG packs. So you get like a couple booster packs and a battle box, which is the battle box is like basically enough energy and cards to make a deck on the spot.
So do you draft with other people or you just do it yourself? You open that product and build
with
the
other
best
people.
deck?
Everyone's doing that. Yeah. Like,
But no, I know. But are you okay? So draft is like we have a booster pack. Everybody has one at the table. We all open it at the same time. Take a card, pass it to the left. You get the next stack of cards. You take a card. You pass it to the left. Okay, so
I don't think so.
So you have so this is what we would call for Magic sealed. So sealed is like you go there, you open up like fucking 6 packs, and you build the best deck you can.
Yeah.
And then you're allowed to change at any point between games cards from that pool with your deck. So
I believe so.
Okay, cool. So there's like a sealed format, and then there's like an actual tournament, like constructed format, where you bring your deck that you specifically designed to fight. Okay. So my question is, how much would that cost us, and how much would it be worth in monetary dollars if we were to build one of those and then use it at the tournament and then sell it? So like what do you think the buy-in would be for a tournament level Pokemon deck, like money wise, if you bought singles at a good price each?
I honestly don't know. Typically when those battle boxes come out, it's usually a pre-release tournament.
Okay.
And usually the prices don't really start gaining momentum, and we don't really know for sure where they're going to go until after actual release, until the general public does it.
Okay, but I'm just talking for that constructed format. Forget the battle box for a minute. So constructed, you're bringing your own deck that you designed to go fight in a fucking huge tournament with a bunch of other people that brought the deck they designed from home.
Yeah.
How much singles, good prices from TCGplayer.com would it cost to get a competitive deck?
Oh.
How many cards cards are in a deck?
Well, typically you got like
40, 60?
60, yeah. So
okay,
you
so
want to have
60
like
cards.
15 energy. You want to have like...
How much does a good energy run? Like they're completely nothing? They're like free?
25 cents, 15 cents.
Okay,
maybe.
so they're not like, because some lands in Magic are expensive, dude. They're like $1, $18, $100, $700.
Energies themselves are pretty much worthless. Like you get.
But there are cool like full art ones that people like covet that might be worth like $3 or something like that.
Yeah,
So
those are typically trainer cards. Like you get double acceleration energy and stuff like that.
If you like pimp your deck, like to pimp my energy, how much would it cost me to pimp my energy out?
Not that much. It wouldn't be that much.
So it would be like $10.
Yeah,
max.
Like
okay, so $10 to totally pimp my energy. Then, so how many energy go in a deck?
Typically, usually about 15.
So 15 out of your 60 is just energy, and the rest is what, creatures and spells?
Yeah, it's typically like it's like 15 trainer cards.
And those are considered spells?
Yeah.
That would be like the spells.
Support, yeah,
okay.
Spells support. Yeah. Typically about 15 energy and 30
so
Pokemon.
That's 30, and then you take 30 and then 30 creatures. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So out of those 30 creatures, how many of those are duplicates?
A pretty good number, depending on what you're trying
to
get out.
So how many of each card name can you have in a deck?
4.
Okay, so you're limited by 4. So you could have and how
Well,
much?
it depends on the card too. Some have restrictions where you can only have like 2.
In the most recent standard, what is the most valuable Pokemon that you would have 4 of in the deck? Like, what is his average price? You think like $20, $40? Is that too much? 10
anywhere from like 15 to 30 average
would be for a single.
Yeah.
Okay, dude. So you're getting up in there. That's like so that's like almost like $100 for a standard deck. So maybe a standard deck is like $150.
Yeah, probably. I'd say that's fair.
So so a standard deck in Pokemon is like
if you want the absolute best, you want the meta deck. You want the one that
but pimped out too.
Everyone is playing, but also
and you want it bling bling bling
cards to subjugate it. Yeah. Or like, yeah.
And then you want a sideboard. You want to go tournament ready.
Probably about 100, 150, probably.
Maybe 200 max. Okay, cool. That's because that gives me a good sense of like comparing it to Magic, it gives me like a scale to compare it to. So the high end, if something in that game is closer to the high end, I can compare it to the high end of Magic in my head with like a shorthand.
Yeah.
So if you say this is a $30 card in your game, I go, holy fuck, that's like a $500 card in my game.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's because so many of the cards are like not really worth that much or worth like under $1. When you see one that's like worth 15, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, that makes me kind of sad, dude, because like, so I'll give you a little experience for my week in my TCG playing. So I went to just the record store up the street because I was just there, and I was thinking about buying like a case for my cards anyway because I had points. So I was gonna get like this dope Ultra Pro case for cheap. It's like a foldy binder to keep my rares and stuff. So instead, I decided to buy 3 packs of Modern Horizons. Okay, they're $7 a booster pack, which is kind of a lot.
What?
There's 7 a pack, but the cards you can get in there go into this modern format. The modern format basically allows you to play everything except for a few cards that are on this list that doesn't allow you. So I mean, from every
Magic
set,
boosters usually just like $4
or $3.50, $4 to $3.
Yeah, okay.
But in like the EV on one of those packs is only like $8-10. So the EVs on these packs are like $15 to $20. And you could hit a card in this set right now that's called Renin 6. It's worth $100. It's a mythic rare. It's a planeswalker. But they're all like in this set specifically, so I'll just read to you real quick. So I have it pulled up, Modern Horizons. So the top, I'll just read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is how much the value is, just to get an idea of where I'm coming from, like value wise. Okay. So Renin 6, $95.48 as of today. Okay. Urza, Lord High Artificer, $40. Okay. Force of Negation, $40. Seasoned Pyromancer, $30. Prismatic Vistas, $24.99, and this is where it's relevant to my situation and the story I was just telling you. Yawgmoth, Thran Physician, $17.98. He actually went up by $1 since yesterday. I pulled him out of a pack. So I pulled one card out of a $7 pack worth $17.
I think there's definitely more of a third-party seller's market for Magic cards. Like,
people make huge business out of it. And then the next card I pulled was the next card right below it, called Fiery Islet. I think that's how you say that. And that's also $17.89. So I made, just with those 2 cards, what's 17 plus 17? So I paid $21 for the packs. So those 2 cards paid for my packs, and I also pulled a couple other cards that are worth like
17. That's like what, 34?
Yeah, but keep in mind that there are other cards like in there that are worth 3 to 5 each, because those aren't even all the good ones.
Oh well, where I'm coming from, 34 is nothing to scoff at.
No, that's like, but what I'm talking about is that value is insane per pack. So I traded in all of my cards from the last standard set to TCG player buy list. And I'm getting a box of Modern Horizons that we are going to record a box opening for on our YouTube channel. So if you guys want to, if you guys want to see what is in one of these $180 boxes of Magic cards, come check it out.
I'm excited,
dude. It's like rolling the dice. We're gonna see some cool shit. There's mad puppy love out there. What is we're gonna have to take our break. We will be right back real quick. And we're back. Sorry about that.
We're back.
A little puppy action. That was ridiculous.
It was redonkulous.
So in the interim pause there, Jake actually got a chance to like look up some prices and stuff. So we weren't too far off. A competitive deck was what?
Oh, 120 to 150. So it was pretty accurate.
Yeah, dude. The ultra rare was worth like $300, which I find fucking insanity.
Yeah,
that's like.
But
bonkers.
It's funny. It's like worth a lot, but people aren't going to use that competitively. That's more of the collective.
What's the percent of getting one of those ultra rares? Like, what is do they tell you?
It's pretty ridiculous
Yeah.
for most, but also
Is it like one a case?
the last set Unbroken Bonds. Oh, not even for Unbroken Bonds. Unbroken Bonds pull rate is like ridiculously dismal. People were getting really, really frustrated with it. It had like a really ridiculous like pull rate to get like really anything.
So
good.
they are definitely fucking with you. So that value isn't on like that's okay. So when
That's
you
inflated because of like
how much does a box like a booster box cost?
booster box. I don't know.
Like can you just like go to TCG Player and like bring up like the most recent or go to MTG Goldfish? Actually no, I'm sorry, that's just a Magic site. Go to TCG Player and look and see what a box of the most recent
I'll
set
look up the most
booster.
one. Yeah.
And then like let's just go look and see what the EV is on it. I'm curious. I want to know because Modern Horizons is a super good buy right now, dude. And I say even if you don't play Magic, you should buy one and open it because you're gonna make like $150.
Let's see, for a booster box, you're looking at 36 booster packs.
Yeah.
About $90 to $100.
So it's about 100. Okay.
Yeah, about 100.
And then the EV is like $20. You might make 20 on the box if you crack it.
EV? I'm sorry.
Estimated value.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like plus minus like something usually. So like sometimes if it's a really shitty set, it'll be like, so it's like a $64 box with a minus $30 EV. So you're actually losing $30 every time you open this product.
Oh.
Or it's a $60 product with a plus $50 EV. So you have an estimated chance to maybe make $50 on the box.
Okay, so those are basically like your odds. Those are your odds of making like
like a play in a game.
a return on investment.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Like people who play poker use it a lot. And since we're talking about TCG games, like it's a card game, so things that apply to poker actually apply to. I don't know about your game, but my game for sure.
Yeah.
Like when you're looking at odds and outs and like things along those lines, and getting your nut draw and like stuff like that. Like if you start to actually like break down the gameplay and like think about it, a lot of the poker stuff actually, like for me, which is super convenient because I played a ton.
It has
of poker.
like less to do with luck, and then it starts becoming more like just knowing the odds and how to like make them work in your favor.
So it's like if I'm winning 64% of my games, dude, I'm fucking crushing it because a pro, like, you know what I mean? This deck is broken. Like most decks in my game, like if they're running 65% win rate, they're busted.
Yeah.
Like they're busted, broken. Like it's like if that shit happens, like Wizards will ban stuff. But like
ban hammer.
yeah, it happens, dude. So like, you know, that's where I'm coming from. And I used to play a lot of poker too. Like I have a expensive poker education over the years there. I play a lot online and a bunch in a casino and local tournaments and stuff. Shitty little card
I feel like
rooms.
talking to you now, like I don't know, like I know like I said, a good portion about the collecting. I don't know as much about the competitive or the third party market stuff. I know, you know, enough and everything.
Oh, dude, don't even sweat it. Don't even sweat it,
I
man.
want to learn more though. After,
Yeah, well,
after talking to you, it's kind of like inspired me to dig
I need
deeper.
to know that shit now, right?
Yeah, like it's
it's a
inspired me to
rich-
dig deeper.
Dig deeper. Yeah,
dig deeper.
there you go.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah,
What did I say?
yeah. It's a long time. We've been shooting for a long day.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
tongue tied.
Yeah, it's all good, dude. You know what I can't say? So the iPhone's making a new iPhone, and it's the XXS Max.
Oh my god.
Fuck that phrase and fuck that phone.
I just
sir.
combined deeper with digging and just made.
Yeah, no, but
digging,
I mean,
digger.
but that like gives you this whole other layer now.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, the finance part of it, I'm super interested in because I want to know, like, you have a collection, don't you? You should bring it over here and we should scan it.
Yeah, totally.
Like we'll just spend the afternoon. I'll show you how to scan it. It'll be fun, dude. I'm totally into that. I
That'd be
scanned
cool.
every Magic card I had that I thought was of value the other day. I made 2 buy lists and like I'm trading them in and I'm getting Modern Horizons and we're gonna open it.
I have my suspected high value ones set aside for sure.
Yeah, but we can find out exactly what the market rate is. It's really accurate. The TCG Player app is pretty good, dude. I was like kind of blown away. I'm like, I mean, it kind of sucks with black border cards for my game, but it was just because I think I was on a striped surface and I didn't have adequate lighting.
Yeah, that might have been it.
But
sure.
after I fixed that, it worked pretty good.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
I'm
And when
looking
it's
forward
not
to trying
accurate,
it
you can
myself.
easily just like tap it, go select the right one, and then it'll tell you the right price. So
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
dude, it's dope.
Too easy.
So like, I mean, I don't even know how much you have of it in paper, but I guess a lot, right?
I have a lot of cards.
Yeah, we should go through them, dude, and like I can like because one thing that I can help you with, even though I don't know, like you can
Like
show me.
For a while, I was buying like six like booster packs like a week, so that's like 60 cards.
Oh yeah, cool. So like, well, what I'm good at is I'm good at sorting cards. Once you show me like what the rarities are, I can sit there and help you break down a huge pack, like box of cards, like easily sort them, and then we can go through. I'll show you how I do it because I actually have like a system in place, even though it's a different game. Doesn't really matter. It's still kind of like the same thing. We're going through massive stacks of cards and sorting them into rarities.
TCGs have very similar systems. They have
exactly. I mean, Wizards designed this one originally, so
yeah,
I'll figure it out.
I mean, it didn't really change too much.
Yeah, I mean, but it's probably somewhat different because I guess most of it would be Wizards copyrighted stuff. But I mean, I guess if you build the game and then sell the game, it's then theirs. I have no idea what I'm talking about right now.
Pokemon Company always owned it, but they had Wizards doing it, and then they realized that.
Look at that.
Then they realized that they were making a lot of money off of it and didn't want to share it anymore. So they're like, "Buy Wizards."
Yeah, hey, whatever, man.
Cutting you out.
Hey, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I mean, the Pokemon Company is a shrewd set of pocket monster makers.
I mean, they're sitting on a
listen to her podcast,
like an infinite gold mine. So
yeah, it's pretty good, dude. Unless they make them look like Digimon, then people will hate them.
That's true.
Yeah, don't do that. Oh, I forgot to tell you. So, my buddy, he has a job where he comes across antiques quite a lot, and he came across some like a Pokemon. He said it was a Jigglypuff, and it's a big coin. It's like a big brass coin that comes from the game.
Okay.
Like we don't know what it is or if it's valuable or anything like that. So, but we just know it's a Pokemon and it comes from the TCG. So yeah, I'm getting it, and I'm going to bring it to you.
All right, cool. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, if it's cool, you can put it on our Instagram.
Yeah,
look for it at the Arcade Bros at Instagram. Dude,
I
always think there's more to that than there is. It's fucking tricky.
It's pretty straightforward, but yeah, it is tricky.
Yeah,
so every different social media site has its own damn thing.
Yeah, and keep your eye open. Jake always puts Pokemon codes there.
I do
free packs. I don't have a way to do that with Magic, unfortunately. If I did, I would, but they don't exist.
Yeah,
it would be amazing if you could get a booster and then get a digital pack for Arena. I would be really happy with that.
That's what they do. Like
I would pay
every booster pack has a code in it.
I would pay $1 extra for that.
Yeah,
I really would. That would be useful for me as an Arena player. Like especially the main problem with Arena, like I was explaining to you before, I showed it to you before. You know what it looks like as a program. Remember how the wild card system works?
I played it too.
Yeah. So the wild card system, you need like different color rarity things to make the fucking thing you want to make, corresponding to the rarities of the cards, right? So rare wild cards are at a premium. You need a fuckload of those to make competitive decks in Magic. So what ends up happening is you burn all of the ones you have, and you still usually don't have enough to like complete a tier deck.
So you have to buy those like digitally through the shop?
Yeah, you have to buy them through the shop. It would be nice if I could buy some paper Magic and also get a little bit of digital Magic too, even if it's only 3 cards. It's like, even if it's 3 random cards.
But that's good because it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. You're getting your physical cards plus you're getting cards to use in this game.
Yeah,
which is awesome. That's what I really appreciate about Pokemon, because I'll get like
I like that.
I'll get like 10. I'll get 10 cards. I'll get a booster pack back for buying a booster pack, essentially, when I play online. So, I mean, it's killing 2 birds with 1 stone, and it's a great value. I mean, you're getting a digital booster pack for free, so it's awesome.
Yeah, dude, I agree. I wish they would do something similar. Maybe they will, because Wizards lately has been, I don't know how to really, I mean, it's actually a really large conversation to have, probably, but I can try.
Yeah, that's our next episode, maybe.
Possibly.
TCG time.
Yeah, TCG time. We don't want this to be super long. These are supposed to be shorter. So
yeah.
But I'll paraphrase. Well, not even paraphrase it, but I'll summarize it like this: they have been making a serious attempt to modernize their game because their game is. Like, look, man, let's be real about it. And I'm not even trying to talk shit about your, like, Pokemon or anything like that.
No,
please,
it's cool.
Please, because this does come off as egotistical, and I hate saying it, but it's fucking factual, so it sucks. But Magic is the most complex, like, table game.
No, I agree. I would say it's probably a little bit more complex.
Outside of, like chess or things along those lines that are perennially eternal. Like a modern day creation that is a hundreds of years old game that has like a legacy tradition of playing throughout antiquity. Like a modern day thing. They have been at it the longest. They have the most focused and dedicated group of dudes who have been doing it literally for their entire professional lives.
Yeah.
So they have iterated and refined it. And if you really are curious, one of the creators has a podcast. He drives to work every day.
I think you're absolutely right, though. I think it is more complex. I mean, with Pokemon too, like you have the entry of like age groups.
Can I just plug this real quick?
Yeah, of
course.
course.
It's called The Drive to Work with Mark Rosewater. He's one of the designers,
Oh,
and
cool.
he talks about everything about designing like TCGs and working at
actually really
Wizards
interesting,
and
huh?
each of the sets. And even if you don't like Magic, it really gets you into the mind space of a game designer.
It's cool. It's like a behind the scenes thing.
Very much, and he's a brilliant man. So, and he's really smart, and he speaks well.
I
so
think it's
it
just
comes
really
across.
interesting to know like what goes into making it.
Yeah,
Like I've always liked shows where they like
go.
you know,
Yeah, movie Magic. Remember back in the day?
yeah,
I
or even
love that
just
one.
like, you know, shit, like, you know, when I was like a real little kid, like, you know, like a toddler, like, you know, Mr. Rogers would go in those factories and like,
Oh, yeah,
this is how crayons
bro.
are made and shit. I'm like,
That was the start
dude, this
of-
is lit.
Yeah, that was before. You remember This Is How It's Made, that show?
Yeah.
That was it before.
That
it
was
was
it before it was it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was where it started.
I love
dude.
shit like
I
that.
love
This is how it's
Me
made.
too.
I like stuff
The
like
Crayon
that.
Factory was one of my favorite ones.
Dude.
Oh man, we're totally
That episode
bonding
was
over
the
Mr.
shit.
Rogers. Speaking of that, I know this. We're going into a normal podcast here, I guess, but
I guess.
a little bit. The Tom Hanks fucking Mr. Rogers movie.
Yeah.
Dude, they say it's in reviewing really well.
Tom Hanks will not rest until he's played everyone in America.
Yeah, so we won't even go into it too far. We'll go back to TCG stuff. We're trying to keep this very focused
Very
on
focused,
trading
right.
cards. This is all about our cards. But
But I think it is more complex, like I was saying. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's like you have,
Thank you,
you know,
sorry.
players from like, you know, 8 to beyond my age,
Mm-hmm.
essentially. And of course, you have different tiers within competitively. You have like junior something.
yeah, but what is the
masters.
actual like my real okay? So this
So that's
is
why I'm
this is a
saying-
question and a critique at the same.
Well, I was
exact
just saying
time.
that's why it's probably a little bit more dumbed down because you have to
Yeah.
lower the
Well,
entry,
but
the level
what-
of entry.
But that doesn't necessarily mean it's not complex.
No, it is. I agree. It is complex.
So what?
but not as
the,
complex
but
as Magic.
the
is what you were
ceilings
saying.
of them are not even in the same realm of existence, right?
Yeah, I don't think you can really
Like,
compare the two.
yeah, so
it's
like-
complex. There's strategy, but it's probably never going to be as complex as Magic the Gathering.
So like
is what I'm saying.
So like an analogy to put it in like a really general term, Magic is like Everest,
Mm-hmm.
and Pokemon, complexity speaking,
Mm-hmm.
is like Everest, and Pokemon, complexity speaking, is like that mountain.
Kilimanjaro.
Is like that. It's like that mountain up the street. like it's like 45 minutes away.
I'd still say Kilimanjaro, maybe.
Kilimanjaro.
It has strategy and complexity, like
Fair.
depending on how you add it. And
I guess
like,
if I don't want to disparage it by calling it the shitty mountain up the road, but
yeah. Plus, it's like different. It's different for each bracket, every tier.
Yeah.
In the competitive, obviously, like you know, you're gonna have like 8 and 10-year-olds playing one way, and then you're gonna have adults like
True.
tapping into a higher level of complexity.
Well, that's
strategy,
what
which
I'm,
is there.
I'm not really talking about the low end here of the curve. I'm talking about the high end. So like when you take the absolute like extremes of play, I honestly think that
Kilimanjaro. Like I said, it's there, but it's not as much.
Yeah, cool.
as
So
the
it's
Everest
got a
that is
good-
Magic the Gathering. If
it's-
Magic the Gathering is
cool.
Everest,
right.
then Pokemon
take
is
it.
Kilimanjaro.
What's the Everest is taller than Kilimanjaro, right?
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I've
I
been saying the
forgot.
whole
I'm so
time.
dumb. I don't know the difference.
I've been totally backing up your point this whole
I
time.
know. I'm just stupid. I know.
No, it's
I
all
knew
good.
that was like that, but I'm like, wait, didn't they just figure out that one was taller than fucking the Everest one
Well, I think
by
you
like
knew-
fucking 2 feet or something?
Yeah, I think you knew. I think you knew I was backing you up, but you didn't know how much and where from and why. Like you wanted
Well,
me
it
to
wasn't.
go more
It
in
wasn't
depth.
that. It wasn't that obfuscated. I just thought for some reason I read a story the other day that they found a mountain that was taller than Everest, and I thought it might have
Really?
been because
Oh, shit.
I read that they mismeasured the Kilimanjaro or one of the like ones similarly named, like because I read
mean,
it while I was pooping one afternoon,
Was
and
it fully erect at the time? Like,
well,
you gotta
no,
make sure it's like fully.
yeah, I know. I don't
Before
know.
you measure
the
it.
continental drift and all that shit, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm misremembering. I think a thing I read, and it might have been. Excuse me.
When I measure, you gotta push the hair back.
It might have been one of those weird conspiracy YouTube channels that I am known to frequently watch. Sometimes because I just
In
love,
our undisclosed location.
yeah, I just love watching dudes talk dumb shit about stuff.
Don't
like
add
that.
us, NSA.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and I have a little bit more Magic news before we wrap this up. There is a new set coming in the fall. It's called Thrones of Eldraine.
Mm-hmm.
It's based upon Brothers Grimm fairy tales, and if King Arthur and Brothers Grimm fairy tales had a baby,
dude,
the art that has been released is
sick.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It looks really, really good.
Like really dark storybook-esque.
Dude, you should see Little Red Riding Hood. She has like a big meat cleaver and like a crossbow.
Jesus.
she's got bear heads on the wall and shit.
Oh man,
there's
like a straight up like demon hunter. With
yeah, dude. There's a Little Mermaid one where it shows Ariel like looking in a looking glass, but it's like she sees herself. She's like a human, but she sees herself as like the scary mermaid that she really is.
Like a fish creature.
Yeah, dude, it's really cool, man.
Dude.
This set is the art is. I mean, I haven't seen what any of the cards do yet, so the set could be fucking a garbage fire. I don't know. I doubt it. They've been killing it for the last 2 years, and it's only going to get better, I think.
That sounds awesome.
But
just from like the art perspective.
Yeah, the art alone, dude. If you like cool fantasy art, like I mean, not even if you want to fucking play the game, just go look.
You just like appreciate.
Just
art.
go look at, because if you like fairy tales and shit, anyway, seeing a new imagining of like these fairy tales with like an edge, you know what I mean? It's got like that crazy, like I don't even mean to say it, but I mean the thing's called Throne of Eldraine, so I mean it's got that Game of Thrones edge. Like clearly the person who
this is like dark. It's almost like
gritty,
like American McGee's Alice or something. Like
yeah,
it's darker
yeah, good pull. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure, dude. Yeah, it's like that for sure. Yeah, good call. Like, yeah, I appreciate that reference. Yeah, it looks awesome. Go check it out. Spoilers haven't started yet. Spoiler season soon. Go look for it. It's going to be great. Rotation happens. Go sell your Teferis now, guys. Go buy Modern Horizons. It's worth it.
Did you say you just didn't know when the release date was, or like?
I forget. It's in September.
September. Okay, well, that's a good time frame.
It's whenever rotation is. It's coming. It's the fall. It's the fall rotation set.
Nice.
It's the fall set. So whenever the fall set, I forget the dates. I mean, we did this podcast kind of off the cuff today the end of a long shooting day, just to get it in the can, and we were rolling. So
we have 2 sets actually coming with Pokemon as well.
Oh, 2? When do they drop?
Well, the first expansion is that's dropping August 2nd.
The 2nd.
So that's coming up, yeah.
Cool.
Sun and Moon series. They'll have over 230 cards, standard legal deck. Yes.
Yeah, 230. Cool.
And then we're gonna have Hidden Fates later on.
What are they like? Okay, so I actually have one more quick question.
What's up?
Where's the narrative like in that game? So is it relevant to like the mainline video games, or are they off in their own fucking like? Do they just invent their own regions at this point? Like, how does that work?
It's kind of in line with whatever the shows are, shows and games are doing.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's relative to the actual anime.
Yeah, like so we got Sun and Moon right now, so it's like all Alola themed stuff.
Okay, so it's still
like
all Alola.
A Mallow trainer card.
So the next set is going to be fucking Sword Dog and fucking Shield Pup?
Yeah, like the last set was X and Y.
Oh, you know, it's kind of funny. You know what I just realized?
What?
We have an overlap right there, bro.
What?
So the one I just mentioned has it's the fairy tales mixed with like King Arthur stuff, like which is basically King Arthur stuff is what the new Pokemon game is going to be.
Oh, yeah,
if you really think about it, it's going to be all medieval. So that we're going to have a bunch of overlap. That's kind of cool.
That is cool.
That will sync up quite nicely. So again, we appreciate you guys listening. Let us know what you think at the Arcade Bros at gmail.com.
Heck yeah. And just one more thing, the Hidden Fates expansion.
Oh, yeah. Go for it. Whoa, shit, sorry.
Oh, my God.
I'm so sorry.
My ears.
Sorry.
No, that's cool. Yeah, the Hidden Fates will be launching August 23rd. So that's not as big a set. It's 150 cards versus Unified Minds, which is 230.
All right, fuck, I got another question.
So it's a smaller expansion.
So in my game, summer sets have a tendency to get opened less. So especially small sets like that one you just mentioned.
Yeah.
So if there's a summer set that has a small run of cards in it, in my game Magic, I don't mean to keep saying it like that, but Magic, they get opened less because it's right before rotation. Usually it's right before the fall set. It's summer. People are on vacation. There's all these factors at play, right? So what ends up happening is if there are powerful ass cards in that small ass open summon set and it's not printed a lot and it's not sold a lot, they have a tendency to have like really valuable, like there'll be 2 or 3 cards in there that they're like everybody wants to fucking buy for some reason, but nobody opened that package.
Yeah.
So the few people who did and then scored foils, Like, no, get payday.
Absolutely, yeah, that's totally gonna happen.
Okay, cool. So it might be worth investing in that set that's coming up wicked soon. Is what you're saying. So we just got a sick bit of, like, I mean, it's kind of obvious. I mean, it's the new set, but open some of it because it's a lot of people don't understand that that's the actual like climate of TCG playing like right now.
Yeah.
Summertime. A lot of the people that play it in the audience that play it are outside doing stuff, or they're getting ready for school, or they're saving their money, or they blew all their money on summer vacation. They're not in the house playing fucking Magic. Winter's coming up.
Winter's coming.
At least in our undisclosed location, that's important because a lot of people stay in and play fucking Magic and shit during the winter.
It's true. Yeah, we have some pretty brutal winters.
Yeah, it gets fucking damn cold here.
Yep.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
But I'll be doing some unboxings. And,
we got
and William's going to be doing some unboxings of Magic.
We're going to be doing it together too.
And together, so
we're going to try to make that
YouTube.
happen. I would like to be excited for things I don't know about.
I am also excited to learn things I don't know about. So,
yeah,
cool.
Like
I'm curious
you have to
too.
be here for the Modern Horizons opening because, dude, that's an expensive box, and I need you to help me film that properly.
Yeah, I'll be here.
And I want your input.
Yeah, I'll be here for sure.
Awesome. So look for that coming.
Yeah, boy.
We are technically on vacation whenever this launches, so I'm living it up in some cool place in the mountains fishing.
Nice.
But I think that's about it for now.
Yeah.
We did good, dude.
Indeed. Look forward to episode 2 of TCG time, whenever that is.
Yeah, it'll be. These shows.
That'll do, pig.
Just so you guys know, these shows are gonna have like no show notes because. I don't feel like doing it. So that's not going to happen. But we are going to release them on everywhere we release our stuff.
Indeed.
I haven't decided if they're going on YouTube yet. They probably should. Even though we don't have a video component for this particular show, there will be video components for other shows. Yeah. We will actually show you some of the cards we're talking about.
I think it's good to have on YouTube just to go along with our unboxing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
We're going to probably just put it all up there.
Yeah, boy.
So, let's get the fuck out of here.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for talking with me.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you soon.
See ya.
Later.
Fuck you.